Hello, I am Will Rogers at Haunted Sponge all over the internet, and I'm about to definitely solve Hunt-A-Killer, Season 2, Episode 2. Just like every other box before it, I will leave no stone unturned. I will decode every hidden message. I know exactly what's going on, and I'm definitely not lost completely. Welcome back, everybody, if you are joining me once again, and welcome to brand new viewers if you've never seen one of these videos before. If you are new to the world of Hunt-A-Killer, you should know that you can go to huntakiller.com to get your own Hunt-A-Killer subscription box. They send you clues. It's a mystery that happens every month. It gets sent to your door, blah, blah, blah. You understand what a subscription box is. Anyway, Hunt-A-Killer sends me these boxes because I'm just such a good sleuth. Or they send me these boxes because it's such a good promotion for me to go through the boxes and show you how I don't understand what is happening. The mystery continues this time. I need to talk through a few things, some leftover things from last time, from Season 2, Episode 1, that I have since figured out in the past month. And then, yes, we will move into this next box 10, and see exactly what is inside. As per usual, I have done a separate unboxing video. If you want to see me see these clues for the first time anew, you can see them on YouTube, youtube.com/talkbomb. Just like a bunch of people do, because I recently, this past week, got a bunch of comments, and if you're out there watching, I apologize that I had not responded yet. I'm everybody's busy. I was busy, but I wanna talk about something. So last month I did Season 2, Episode 1, and seriously, it's spoiler time. It's straight up spoiler time. So the story of Hunt-A-Killer so far is we're in contact with this guy, John William James. He's a pen pal of ours. He's kind of a Hannibal Lecter murderish type guy behind bars. Well, at the end of See, there's somebody in the chat right now who doesn't know this stuff. Although I guess you do. You binge watched all of them, right, Christy? There's a live video. So, all right. I gotta say it. I can't hold back. John William James has broken out. He's out there in the world somewhere, and we don't really know where. Last month in box 1 of Season 2, I posited a theory. He keeps referring to being in a village. There's a note about somebody going to a tower nearby, and there was a painting included in the box, or photograph of a painting, printout of a painting, which I looked up and saw that it is currently stored in, what was it, the Lem? Something like that, a museum out in London. So I posited a theory that John William James keeps talking about being in a village. He's in London. Well, no, he's not. Not only is there concrete evidence in Season 2, Box 2, which tells me that I was dead wrong, but while I do these videos live on Facebook, they all get posted over to youtube.com/talkbomb, where a bunch of people can watch and comment, and sometimes point out just how incorrect I was. Oh my gosh. Wait a minute. Christy, it's you. It's you from the chat. I apologize for not responding until just this second. It was you the whole time. You posted this on the YouTube video. The nut, I thought there was this chestnut in the box. It's a Buckeye, state nut of Ohio. And I think that did come out during the video. But you pointed out Ohio does have some small towns still referred to as villages, which is odd to me. I did not know that. And it was, I don't know, I guess that kind of busted a big piece of evidence that I was using. Marblehead is a village in Ohio near Lake Erie. It is not far from Put-En Bay, which has the crystal caves. There was also a crystal that was in the previous box. There is a haunted lighthouse museum on Lake Erie. I think that is where he is and where the focus should be. Christy Spinks, you were correct on YouTube. You are awesome in the chat right this second as I do this live on Facebook. And I read those and I was like, man. Not only was I wrong, I was like dead wrong. And you totally cracked the case. So well done. Thank you. And once again, I apologize for not responding. I kept meaning to, But life intervenes. Life always finds a way. What? Anyway, that brings us to, well, a couple of things. Last time, I'm gonna be all over the place for a second here because a lot of stuff is going on. I have a lot of things to talk about. But I guess maybe we should get one out of the way before we jump into box 2. So, season 1 of Hunt a Killer took place with a storyline of this organization called Listening Friends of America that put us in touch with John William James. They were the intermediary because he was incarcerated in one way or another. Now, one of the cool game mechanisms to Hunt a Killer is the fact that every week you would get the manila envelope from Listening Friends of America, and there'd be a sticker in the corner that says this package was inspected by someone to make sure that there is no graphic material, dangerous material, private information, blah, 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 blah. Each of those stickers had a reference number. Well, if you went to Listening Friends of America's website, you could type in that inspection number to get the inspector's notes for each box. So for the first 8 boxes, you could see a little clue. It's not something that you need. It was just something from Hunt a Killer to help nudge you and give you a little more information. So it would be like you'd open the box and there would be a little plastic string thing. People would freak out online, be like, what is this? I don't know what this thing is. But if you use the inspector's notes, which again are not mandatory, you would see that the inspector said, yeah, it looks like John William James is including part of a lute string, of a musical instrument string. That's weird. I don't understand. Well, that's a very in-game explanation, but it also gives you more context for what you're looking at. Now, Listening Friends of America, for all intents and purposes, is gone. The organization still exists somewhere out there, but they're not part of season 2. Not yet. Anyway, I hope they come back. I like that. That storytelling device. But so I had been wondering, does this mean inspector's notes are gone? Is that a thing of the past? I think the answer is no. There's a new kind of inspector's notes, and I did not see it coming. So we got a little strip of paper that gave a hint to go to a website that sounds like a steamy romance novel. Whispers from Theodorus. Whispers from Theodorus. Whisper to me, Theodorus. And on this little strip of paper included the Latin word, incipere. I don't know how to pronounce Latin. Anyway, it brings you to a page with an incipere button, which is password protected. But if you simply translate the word incipere, which I had done and since forgot, begin. Here we go. Password, BEGIN. What? Wait a minute. There we go, capital B. You get this, save that. Of course, save it. You get this page, this like blog post, basically. So here's what this says. And this is, again, I believe that this is essentially the functional replacement for the inspector's notes. This is information. There's information in this blog post that we basically deduced, some people better than others. I didn't figure this out. But if you read this, it makes it like crystal clear, almost as if you are reading a synopsis of the clues that we're supposed to be deducing. So, my friend, you have come in dire need of help. That makes it clear right there. This is here to help us. I will help to clarify, but you are the historian. We'll be talking about that later too. And you must continue to exercise your mind so no detail will escape our story. The first problem, where am I? You have a seed from a tree iconic of this state, Buckeye. I thought it was a chestnut. Narrow my position down with the crystal you now possess. I did not do that either. Taken from a formation beneath this town. Formation of what, I hear you ask? To find out, you must complete a puzzle not unlike the one you have previously completed, where meaning is made from zeros and ones. I'm going to start talking like David Bowie or Tim Curry now. I'm going to jump ahead. What happens next? Surely you see I have a new disciple. I sent to him instructions only to be read by the three of us. A light, not bright but black as a cave, will show you a hint on the back of the page revealing the type of cipher written on the coffee filter I gave to him. Now, I think I failed to solve that coffee filter. So here's a good example of how this is a help desk system. Coffee filter has a weird cryptic message. It's obviously some sort of like a replacement cipher thing. I just could not figure it out. I could not figure it out for the life of me. It turned out you were supposed to use a Polybius square. Now, I once got trolled hard on YouTube by somebody who was on like box 1, like season 1, box 1, who was like, commenting on my box 2 video, going like, you didn't even figure out the Polybius square yet? Do you even know what you're doing? You're not a good detective. It's clear you didn't even do your homework. And I was like, all right, first of all, never heard of the phrase Polybius square. Ever. Well, here it is. It's finally come into play, and I only found it at the beginning of season 2. So I think she was reading spoilers and was trying to make me feel bad about myself, and it worked. Took me weeks to get over that. Anyway. So this explains to you how you're supposed to decode that message. Now, I say all that because I'm going to be paying attention going forward of how we're supposed to get these sort of digest blog post things. And it's weird because I did not find it for episode 2. I have not figured it out for episode 2 yet. And yet I think I have a clue for episode 3, which I'm a little bit confused by, but it's not anyone's fault, except for mine. So yeah. Anyway. Okay. I want to jump to the chat here. Yeah. This is something that I had been, wondering. Christy, I live in Ohio, so I knew exactly what that nut was and lived near a few of the villages. I wondered. Hunt a Killer so far has been a game that I'm really glad that I do these videos, because I really don't think that I would have figured that out on my own. Like ever. I never would have figured it out. I would have needed that Whispers from Theodorus blog post. I would have needed that. But the fact that there is such a sprawling user base, sprawling list of gamers of Hunt a Killer, you have a life experience that I lack. And so you're picking up on things that I couldn't possibly pick up on. So far, I have not picked up on a single thing that no one else is capable of, but maybe the tide will turn someday. Basically, what I'm saying is we need to be on this together. We need each other. Don't leave me. Anyway, Jess and Charles are both giving little winky, noddy things, not naughty, nod things to, I'm guessing, season 2, episode 3, which, by the way, because I took a month off from Hunt a Killer, is currently sitting in my front room. I have season 2, episode 3. I will be doing it very soon because I don't think I can hold off anymore. I think I'm literally going to do it like next week. I don't know yet. I got to catch up. I can't have one sitting around. My sister's in the chat. Hi, Kristen. Or at least watching. Charles, I did begin, and begin in all caps. Never occurred to me to try capital B, lowercase EGIN. That's some of the crazy thing, though. You've got to, I'm just typing crazy stuff, just trying a million different things. Jess, we figured out the Ohio link that way as well. A couple in our November group visited there often, and they knew exactly what it was. Yeah, we are required to communicate. It would be very hard to do this alone, I think. Charles says, open it, you fool. I know. I will. I'm going to. I have to. I'm going to catch up to you guys. Anyway, my sister just called me a bitch. So that's horrible. You can look forward to more of that talk on TalkBomb.com in Book Club Schmook Club, our book review comedy show. Anyway. All right, let's do it. God, I've got a talk problem. I haven't even opened this yet. This is Box 2. Okay. All right. I want to jump to the things that are the most fun to talk about, because they're things that, like, I can show you as, like, here's what I solved and how I solved it and blah, 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 blah. But I want to get a few things out of the way first. So, right off the bat, Listening Friends of America is gone, and as we learned last time, we are now being acquainted with Talaria, some sort of a bizarre organization. I thought maybe it was a cult. I thought maybe John William James had started his own cult, or maybe he had joined an existing cult. I was thinking maybe in terms of a storyline, there might be some dramatic tension about how he's like a crazy Hannibal Lecter guy, and he doesn't fit in with this cult quite. But I don't think so, because there is a reference made in the John William James pen pal letter this time about how he enjoys this courier service. You should know that I very much enjoy the employ of our courier network. When I have more time, I will tell you of how I found them. In the meantime, I expect we shall enjoy evolving together. Doesn't he mean transforming? There's a lot of talk about transformation and metamorphosis, especially in this box. Anyway, the letter this time from Talaria is the exact same as what we received in season 2, episode 1. So it's odd. It's almost like just like a formal letter being like, "Hi, we're Talaria. We have a package for you from a Mr. John William James. Will you accept the charges?" Anyway, in season 2, episode 1, we had a little note written to Robert from M. It simply said M. She was saying, hey, you rest. I'm going to go out. I'm going to explore. I'm going to go to this tower. I'm not going to go to that museum. I didn't know it was haunted. I would not have brought us here if I had known it was haunted. I live with enough ghosts at home, Robert. And this time we're greeted with this article about a tourist who fell 352 feet to her death. Marjorie Heck, which could be what M stood for, Marjorie, except that she was staying at the Black Squirrel, which I guess is an inn or a hotel, with her son, Robert Heck. Oh, to Robert from M. From, not Marjorie, Mommy. He definitely called his mom Mommy. Anyway, they were vacationing in town. She broke into Perry's monument. Perry is very upset. They were naughty. After hours, and fell from the observation deck while it was closed to the public. She was 60 years old. The article goes on and on about what they think may have happened. She was going out for a walk. She wanted to explore it. She wanted to see a grand vista. She was upset about having recently turned 60 years old. And so he said that, Robert Heck is now saying that his mother was, very disturbed and upset lately. And so he eventually goes on to say, I guess I must be in shock. I'm sure I will understand the full effect my mother's death will have on me eventually, but I'm certain now that this is at least a very transformational moment for me. Marjorie Heck will be cremated and her ashes spread in Lake Erie. Then, Heck says, he will continue to travel across the country with a friend. He's been really supportive in this difficult time. It's his idea to continue to travel, and I think it's the best way to honor what happened to my mother. That's sweet. Bob Heck killed his mom. What a jerk. Hey, on the back of this article, there's another article called Dead Cow Found in Local Fisherman's Boat about a feller who named Wally Daniels. Wally Daniels found a dead cow in a boat. But it's all right. It runs in the family. His father found a horse dead in the sewer in Staten Island in the 1930s. I will say no more. But there are going to be people out there that understand what that refers to. Anyway, I think it's just an overall structural hunt-a-killer Easter egg nod, but it was very appreciated and very clever and very cool. Christy Marie Williamson Turner, better late than never. Hey, welcome to the show. Ladies and gentlemen, I implore you, if you are watching this live, please consider sharing the show at this point. If you are not watching this live, if you are watching this later on in your life on YouTube or something, why don't you also give us a thumbs up down below, subscribe, and just also share it. Why wouldn't you still share it? You can still share it. Get over yourself. Okay. Back to the John William James letter. Because there are a lot of references being made back and forth between this information. It's my opinion that these new boxes, these Hunt a Killer Season 2 boxes, draw more overt connections between events than Season 1 did, which is interesting. It's an interesting experience to see the storytelling evolve. I like it. Here's a quote from John William James's letter from this time. So Bob has become a harbinger, and you, the historian, though of him there will be many alike, and of me, what? Though of him there will be many alike, and of me. Of you there is only one. It is your reward for your curiosity and loyalty. You stand alone in this tale. Yet when the myths of our great work drift down the rivers of time to the oceans of memory, you will be remembered at my side. Does this please you? I, my friend, am pleased. So we are the historian. I have been wondering for a long time if our quote-unquote character is part of the game. Meaning, like, I know that we're the pen pal, like I, Will Rogers, am communicating with John William James, but am I Will Rogers? Are Jess Stokes? Are you and I two separate people also communicating with John William James? Or are we playing one singular person, a character in this world who's communicating with John William James? And I think here we have our answer. It actually harkens back to last month, Season 2, Episode 1. We had a letter from Jacob Nilsson that was written to John William James where he apologizes for having contacted the historian. We understand now he was apologizing for contacting our character, us. That's a cool connection. John William James must have rules about what is permitted or not if you are going to be one of his cadre of mad people roaming the world. But it also means that we are the historian. That is who we are. And it's amusing to me that this letter says, of you there is only one, especially when I just went on a big tirade about how we are not just one, we are many. And we are all required to figure out this mystery. We're a hive mind. All the players of Hunt a Killer, everybody who's playing this game, whether you realize it or not, you're contributing to this singular character we play as, the historian. All of our knowledge is being combined into this one character in the world. I didn't know that chestnut was a Buckeye, but hey, Christy Spinks did know, so therefore the historian now knows. It's a really interesting way to approach this game. It's a collective, and I really like that. It's a big part of Hunt a Killer. It always has been. The community. The community is a character in this game. Very artsy-fartsy. But I stand by it. I like it. Charles Goss in the chat. Why does Kristen Rogers Anderson do most of the talking on Talk Bomb? Oh, this is why. What do you mean? What do you mean? I do a lot of talking on Talk Bomb, I'll have you know. Lots of confirmations in this season from questions we had in last season. Really cool. What do you mean by that, Charles? This is a safe space. Start to talking. Don't get to walking. Huh? Okay. I'm split right now on whether or not I should talk about one of the things I found out or one of the things I did not find out. Let's talk about one of the things I did not find out. This month in the box, we got, this. It is a painting. I did not track down what the painting is, where it's from. It's obviously a small part of a larger whole, and yet it has this spiraling secret message on it, right? It goes like, I took all that text, I wrote it out as is. It says this. That's very helpful. Anyway, I then also decoded that. Well done, my dearest friend. Have you seen the news? I certainly helped Bob make his mark on the world. Now he goes under my guidance to save them from themselves. I stopped by the old farm after. It is still an ashen blemish upon the earth where the long dead whisper blank. The message ends with a comma as if there is going to be a line to follow, and yet we do not know what that line is. My guess is this. This is the clue that we would use to access those inspector's notes, the whispers from Theodorus blog post. Whatever it is that the long dead whisper. I bet it's a word in Latin that we could search on whispers from Theodorus and then translate to use as the password so that we can get a more narrative explanation of what's going on in this box. But the fact of the matter is, I don't know. I don't know. I think it must be tied to what this painting is. That's what I would assume, of course, that if I knew the name of the painting, maybe it would enlighten me as to what that is. So this I got partway through and just don't know. I just do not know. Similarly, in terms of the things that I just do not know, remember our buddy Lloyd McGowan? Way back from season 1, we at a certain point got a little toy aeroplane. This time we got a little toy choo-choo train. Now, in my unboxing video, I just kind of took it out of the box and held it and looked at it and admired it. Played with it. I was a little conductor. It was nice. And then it occurred to me shortly after I finished my unboxing video, I gotta smash this thing open. I gotta rip this thing apart. Because it must be concealing something, right? Well, watch this. Yeah, it's really tight on there. I don't know what it does. Yeah, I don't think that comes apart at all. So I think we just have a toy choo-choo. I have no idea. I have just no idea. Charles, the historian, whether we are all separate characters or one character. Just Oaks, oh my god, that whisper is the stuff of nightmares. Charles again, Will's whispering is nightmare fuel. How dare you? I have a nice whisper. It is soothing. Damn it. Anyway. Okay. Boy. Okay. Yeah, see, I just don't know. Okay. This was one of my favorite things in the, I thought the same thing, Jess. Planes, trains, and automobiles. There's a reference in the John William James letter to how that news article, the one about the Robert's mom falling off a tower, he says, enjoy the article. It makes excellent in-flight reading. Like, you'd think that he'd be like, it might be nice to read it on a caboose. And reference the train in some way. There's no choo-choo reference in this. I don't understand. I have to assume it'll come into play later on. I just don't know. So, we got in the box. This is straight up maybe one of my favorite things that has ever appeared in a Hunt a Killer box yet. We got this sweet old honey puzzle. Sweet, sweet honey puzzle. Now, first of all, I just think it looks cool. I really like the colors. It's very autumnal, which I like. It's very nice. And I was pumped to figure out what the hell it meant. And if you watch my unboxing video, you saw me tangle with this little goo. It's not going to read very well, but you can kind of see. You can see that there's like some schmutzy, ambery stuff down here in the bottom. There was a Ziploc baggie with a little folded up card in it. And when you get your mitts dirty, it pays off because you find this little decoder. So what did I do? I'll take you through it very, very quickly. I took our B picture and I took our decoder and I used it so that you can see that like, at the top here, it's there's like a tan, yellow, red, And you can see there's a little notch in the tan side on the top right-hand corner, or right-hand side of it. And that would correspond to the tan decoder thing. That's a D. That's a D right there. Anyway, I did that. I filled in the whole thing, filled in every letter in every spot. And what that says is, Dear Cleo, kill a stranger and free yourself from pain and fear. Metamorphosis is possible. Metamorphosis is possible, Cleo. Kill a stranger. Free yourself from pain and fear. I like that voice a lot. So there's now a person named Cleo. There's a Cleo in the mix. Back to the John William James letter. This is almost the John William James letter at a certain point. It's just like a table of contents. Included with this letter is a copy of my message to my next disciple. She was as alone as I, but now she is ready to enter our colony. Bee colony? Buzz, buzz. Along the road, she will stand with nectar transmute upon her hands, much like we did. I am eager to see how she chooses to accomplish her metamorphosis. Hopefully, she will be more creative than our last initiate. Is our last initiate Bob? This is before he's like, Bob's become the harbinger. This is great news. I'm thrilled about this. But Cleo's going to be way better. Bob is lame. Bob is... Hopefully she'll be more creative than Bob. Bob. You should know that I very much enjoy the employee of our courier network, blah, 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 blah. Whatever. It goes on. But yes, Charles in the chat, you are indeed correct. The honeypot that we had, this guy here, it said SLMVB. It means honey. The pot is filled with honey. Don't eat it. Will. Anyway. Thank God he did it for me. The colors were killing me. Stupid colors. I thought that was cool. That was like, seriously, that was probably one of my favorite Hunt-A-Killer puzzles, so far, of like all 10 boxes. It wasn't the most, complicated, difficult thing I've ever encountered. It was just really enjoyable. I love the way this looks. I really, really do. It was fun figuring out which way you're supposed to orient it. And by the way, I guess the way, this felt like it wasn't intentional, but I guess it is. And that's like the mark of any good mystery is like, well, whatever. So you can see that at the top here, it's not quite reading very well, but you can see through the top right here. It's because it's punctured as if that is where you would hang it if it were on a wall. So it tells you which way to hold the page to decode it. I thought that was very clever. I liked that quite a bit, as a matter of fact. All right. Is there anything else that I have not touched upon? I feel like we kind of made short work of this one. Am I done? Could it be? All this talk about metamorphosis is making me think of the first box and the swan. You mean like you're thinking of like the ugly duckling transforms into a swan kind of a thing? This series seems to be all about like becoming. I am becoming. I am transforming. But who's to say for sure? Okay, so yeah, I what do I want to do here? There are a few things that I wanted to check out that I didn't really look up. And there are a couple of things that I did figure out that I do want to share because once I found out that, as per Chrissy Spinks, when I realized that, yes, indeed, John William James is specifically in Ohio, I started doing some searches here. So Perry's Monument. I Googled literally, I don't know if you'll be able to see this because my dumb face is on it. I literally Googled the word Perry's Monument, and it worked. I got this. Perry's Victory and International Peace Memorial. So then I also did this. I did Black Squirrel Hotel, Ohio. All right, now check this out. There are two Black Squirrel Inns. I know because I already searched for this that it is, I believe it's this top one. Let's take a look. Let's go to the map. I think it's been a little bit since I went to a big giant map on this show. But I'm glad that I'm getting the opportunity to do it once again. Here is the black squirrel. And we have this reference, by the way, just a reminder, we have this from the article here, that Marjorie Heck from Bel Air, Maryland. That's interesting, actually. Maryland. Why didn't I think of that before? John William James started out in Maryland. In this game, at least. He started out at the Listening Friends of America facility in Darlington, Maryland. Marjorie Heck and her son, Robert Heck, were traveling already, and they started out in Maryland. I wonder if John William James was traveling with them the whole time. That's how he ended up in Ohio in the first place. I don't know. Anyway, it says in this article they were staying at the Black Squirrel. So that's how we know to look for this hotel name. And we know from where she died that she died at Perry's Monument, which is somewhere here. Let's get some directions. Let's reverse these. Black Squirrel going to... Oh, here. Perry's thingamajig. So, yeah. Marjorie Heck started here, the Black Squirrel. She walked up here to Perry's Victory and International Peace Memorial. It is a 25-minute walk. A nice, enjoyable, jaunty walk. Walking along the water here. You get to pass Booker Lane and Glacier Cove. There's nothing like it. And she went to Perry's Monument and died. Now, I guess we're supposed to believe that her son killed her, obviously, right? I mean, John William James basically comes out and says as much. First of all, we're playing a game called Hunt a Killer. And second of all, we have the start of the friend letter. The mother fell from the obelisk, the sacrificial altar of the son. Thus completes his initiation. Thus begins his metamorphosis. Would that Andromache and Scamander had their roles reversed, the walls become an obelisk. Then what becomes the prize? Freedom. The freedom of a harbinger of freedom. Whatever. Anyway, so he's saying the son killed the mother at the big obelisk. I don't know why John William James can't be... What if everyone communicated this way? If people are just like, why are you late to work? I'm like... Being trapped within the confines of time is a fool's errand. Oh, all right. You're fired. Get away from me. Get away from me. So she went to Perry's International Monument and died there. And then they set up this phony letter, which we saw back in episode 1 of season 2, where she writes to her son Robert, hey, I'm going to go for a walk. I'm going to go to the tower. See you later. I live with enough ghosts at home. Bye-bye. And I guess maybe she really wrote that letter. And then John William James and or Robert Heck followed her to kill her. Or maybe they killed her and staged the letter. I don't know that for sure. I don't know if we will ever know that for sure. But I guess it is indeed safe to say one way or another. However they did it, they did it. They killed her. Now, one of the things that I'm intrigued by, there was a dropped reference in that letter to the fact that she didn't want to go to a museum in this area because it's haunted. So, of course, I'm sitting here thinking, what the heck? What the Bob heck? That means that since we now know distinctly the area... Maybe we can figure out what that haunted museum is. And it only intrigues me, I don't think it's really part of the game, but it intrigues me in terms of I like haunted stuff. I'm at Haunted Sponge. I want to know about a haunted museum. Let's go. And Christy Spinks, you said in the chat just before that the memorial itself is haunted. So I want to know about that too. So anyway, I got to thinking, and it occurred to me, it's clear. It's been right in front of our face the whole time. Dun dun! Perry's Cave Family Fun Center. Let's go to Perry's Cave Family Fun Center, is what I mean. I'll meet you guys at Perry's Cave Family Fun Center this weekend. I'll see you there. I've got to buy some plane tickets, but I'll see you there. But really, I just wondered if we could look at this thing and figure out, what is the haunted... what is this little island? Right? What's going on with this? Catawba Island, Put-in Bay. Is that South Bass Island is the name of this island. So I'm gonna just do some stupid stuff. South, I can't spell stuff. You guys couldn't see that. South Bass Island Haunted Museum. And then we'll look for Perry's Monument Haunted. Just out of curiosity. Haunted places in Put-in Bay, Ohio. Oh, from hauntedplaces.org? What are you talking about? Oh, look, we got a different map. Let's take a look. South Bass Island. Park Hotel. That's the only thing that's said to be haunted according to hauntedplaces.org. I mean, I trust this as a source, right? You gotta trust hauntedplaces.org. So if they're saying that Park Hotel is the only place that's haunted, I'm inclined to believe them. They don't even say that Perry's Monument is haunted. What would Perry have to say about that? Tell me why it's haunted. Damn it. Alright, while this loads, I'm not just going to sit here and watch it load. Let's take a look over. Here's a doodle. Christy Spinks. Poe had a short story called William Wilson that the movie Black Swan was based on. The metamorphosis of the characters and the deaths at the end. Oh, I see what you're saying. That's why I was making you think of the swan. Cool. Jess Stokes. I recommend not even touching on trying to find the painting. This painting. It's extremely obscure and hard to find without some lucky Googling and keywords found in the next episode. Really? So I sat around trying to find this for a while, and I obviously had no luck. This is an episode 3 clue? Because this really felt to me like this was going to be our Whispers from Theodorus hint. Not the case. Charles Goss. Sincerely, Private Robert Heck, 1812. Put-in Bay. Christy Marie Williamson Turner, been there. It's pretty neat. The Lighthouse, it was terrible. Yeah, okay, so anyway, I don't think we're going to figure out why this Park Hotel is said to be haunted, which is a shame, a damn shame. But we do know that Marjorie Heck died at Perry's Monument, which is haunted. Perry's Monument won't open in 2017. What's going on with this? From the Sandusky Register, Perry's Monument won't open in 2017. So there it is. This is that towering obelisk that John William James was telling us about. Some happy people watching Marjorie Heck fall to her death. This is the view she was supposedly trying to see before she died. This is the view from somebody who fell from the tower looking back up at it. They're dead. Those are the same people, except this time they're dead. All right, Patrick Fanner. Sorry, Patrick, to butcher your name, but your name is Patrick Fanner. I'm a jerk. All right. Put-in Bay. An iconic and popular monument symbolizing peace on Lake Erie will not reopen in 2017. Perry's Victory and International Peace Memorial rises 352 feet above Put-in Bay and dominates the South Bass Island skyline. The monument will undergo a series of repairs this year and likely won't reopen to guests until 2018. It is unfortunate but unavoidable that the column will be inaccessible to the public. All right, I guess I'm not learning as much as I thought I was going to. Yeah, you're right, Kristen. It is Pudding Bay. Pfft. Call me when the Jell-O jiggles in Pudding Bay. Jell-O's not pudding, right? But Jell-O makes Jell-O pudding as well. Call me when the bay is full of pudding. So, all right, the other things that I wanted to do, which, also might end up coming up short. I was just curious. I've been keeping track of these bizarre references that John William James makes. He says, would that Andromach and Scamander had their roles reversed. So I just want to quickly take a look at what he is saying here. In Greek mythology, Andromach or Mach or Much was the wife of Hector, daughter of Etion and sister to Podes. I am Podes. She was born and raised in the city of Cilician Thebe, over which her father ruled. The name means man-battler, or fighter of men. He was also a famous Amazon warrior, blah, blah, blah. During the Trojan War, after Hector was killed by Achilles and the city taken by the Greeks, the Greek herald Talthybius informed of her plan to kill Astyanax. All right, let's just search for the word Scamander in here. This is insane. What? Scamander has nothing to do with Andromage? The only Scamander I know is Newt Scamander from Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. Duty is as a wife. I don't know. Why would you need to swap her role with Scamander then? You could swap her role with anyone. They had nothing to do with each other. Damn it, I don't want to read all this. Does anyone just already know? Pudding Bay. All right, I just can't. I just can't research these names right now. I'm feeling too goofy. So I'll tell you this. This is the last thing that I have. This is the last thing that I have got. And I just do not know really what to make of it. So I'm experiencing something a little bit different with Hunt a Killer this time. Those of you who are just getting Box 10, you know, I've had this box in my possession for over a month. So I might know stuff that somebody who's just receiving Box 10 might not know. Because I got something in the mail separately, like a week ago. So like 3 weeks after I got Box 10, an envelope showed up. Seriously, if you only just received Box 10 for the first time the other day, you may not want to know this. So, warning. Just, I don't know, warning. This is the cliffhanger, I guess, for Box 10. And the cliffhanger, I think, for this video. I think we're going to call it quits in just a couple minutes here. But, so I got in the mail, a little card. It came in a tiny envelope, and it came with the dragon swan symbol on it, the symbol of John William James. On the other side of the card, I love the way it looks. It's got this flourishy little thing, and it says, as the clown would have said, if he not been long dead. Zillum to Viddle! That's what it says at the bottom. Zillum to Viddle! So, obviously, XLMTIVTL is code of some sort. It means something. So, we had a bunch of ciphers in this box. We had a lot of transcoding to do. And so I transmuted the code. And here's what I got. Congrego. Zillum means congrego. And what congrego means is to congregate, to gather, to group, to assemble. Now, first things first, I do want to point out that I did assume that this must have been a Whispers from... I'm sorry. I did assume that this was a Whispers from Theodorus clue, but I remembered the phrase, what the clown would have said had he not been long dead, while I was at work. I didn't have the card right in front of me, so I didn't remember that there was a secret message at the bottom, so I was literally sitting here on Whispers from Theodorus typing in like, doink. No results. Ha. What else would a clown say? Oops. Like literally just typing in things a clown might say. I don't know. Boink. Boink is different from doink. But then when I came home, I took a look at it. I transmuted the transformed and reordered the digits and figured out it was congrego. So I did get a search result, obviously, because I've got this congrego button right before me. Just like Insipere, it goes to a password-protected screen. This looks like Google Chrome has saved a password that I've correctly entered, but as you will see, no, it's incorrectly saving a password that I got wrong. So congrego means to gather. Whoa, okay. All right. I tried that before and it didn't work. All right. This is great. This is brand new information then. All right. I am truly surprised. All right. Save this too. I thought I was going to show off how nothing that I was doing worked. That's funny. All right. Let's read this. Hey, I'm pumped. All right. There's now a great way to conclude the show. Whispers from Theodorus. Congrego. You have come to the gathering place once again, my dearest friend. Take note of the sweet end to the long journey of flowers, the interconnected and cyclic relationship between flora and fauna. A jar of it sits now in your possession. Sulmvub, honey. Consider this jar. I'm switching the voice. What is the relationship of the signifier to the signified? What is written upon it will be the key to understanding the slow spiral of a circus parade. Huh, wait a minute. Is honey a... Okay, hold on. We might have more to do. But then, that is what should have brought you here. One more thing to consider. Of all the main streets in America, where does the clown lead his followers? Inside the jar, yet another key. Use this to open the palace gates to the hive. See the bees, a royal decree. See in the bees a royal decree for only the most loyal of subjects. Those deemed unworthy will likely die in the dungeon. That is the sting of the new world. I wish I could do this just staring into the camera. I wish I had this memorized. So you will now have seen that yet another disciple has joined our ranks. While Bob continues the good work, I'm sure you noticed where I was then. I think, is that just referring to the fact that Bob is like, I'm traveling with my friend? So he's in the article. This new soldier sprouts forth for the glory of the dragon swan. Under my banner, she will make her presence known to the world, and in doing so, exalt me. Yet, if you can now see what will happen, can you see where I am? Yes, I left the old place behind, and now I've followed my destiny to a new city. So it's John William James going on like a road trip. You've already seen the first clue. Now, what of the train? Have you ever wondered how children first came to describe the sound of a train whistle? Someone taught them how to speak in onomatopoeia, but that is not a phonetic language. How could it be? I would think a more apt word for the sound of a whistle would be shwoo-foo. But that's my own interpretation. Who am I to argue with choo-choo? Who am I to argue with choo-choo? Don't go arguing with choo-choo. You're making choo-choo upset. Like, what? What am I supposed to make out of this? What of the train? I think a more apt word for the sound of the whistle would be shwoo-foo. Shwoo-foo. Oh, the train's coming. Is the train coming? Shwoo-foo. Shwoo-foo. Yeah, it's here. Let's not get on this one. Let's wait for the choo-choo one. Shwoo-foo. We're not getting on this train. All right. I can't stop now because I think I know what something else is here. Pudding Bay. Okay. There's a sun falling from the tower wall. Christy Spink says that symbol would be a cool tattoo. You're correct. We all float? What? Pennywise, It. That was a great movie. I really enjoyed that. That did it. Yeah, I can't believe I got that password right. I lied. The keywords are in this one for the painting. Yeah, I figured. Clown leading a parade and something about, like, where does that happen or something? So a circus in a town? Circus town? Something? I'm going to look for that in just a second. Christy Spinks Bob is another cult member. All this talk of clowns makes me think he's trying to recruit Pennywise also. What? Charles Goss. Whistle. Cool Whip. Hey, you guys want some Cool Whip? Sounds like a sweet train whistle. Such a weird ending paragraph. The passenger train line near Lake Erie travels to Toledo, Pittsburgh, Detroit, Cincinnati, and Niagara Falls. Thank you for saying that, Christy Spinks. That was exactly what I was going to do next. One of the two things I was going to do next. Choo-choo is a reference to how he is getting out of Ohio, I guess, or at least getting away from that particular area. That news article said that Bob Heck was going to continue to travel with his friend. And so I assume that John William James was pretty much like traveling the country and picking up followers along the way, just wherever he happens to go. But maybe he's just going places and leaving a trail of destruction behind him and, you know, corrupting people as he goes who will continue to wreak havoc in that area. Now he has a satellite creep in Ohio, in Bob. And so now he's trying to get Cleo to murder a stranger somewhere else. All right, let's find that painting real quick. I wonder if this is possible. Clown parade painting. Circus? Do clowns lead a parade? Oh my God. Yeah, clown painting is not a pleasant thing to search. I'm gonna make you guys suffer through this too. Kristen, you're about to see a bunch of pictures of clowns. My sister Kristen, should I spare you? I guess I'll spare you. I'm just looking at a ton of oil paintings of stupid-looking clowns. Ugh. I get it. Like, I'm not creeped out by clowns at all. Not at all. But I completely understand why people would be. They look like crap. They look like absolute garbage. They're not funny. They're just miserable. All right. Parade. Circus parade. Painting. All right, this is much easier to look at. You guys can watch this. I'm sparing you a bunch of oil paintings of sloppy clowns, and only really because my sister's in the chat, and I have, boy, such respect for her. Wow. Yeah, props to you, Chris. Props to you. God, how am I going to find this? Are you kidding me? Jess, you found this? You figured this out? How did you possibly figure this out? So what I have shows me like a portion of, it looks like a street. Maybe, is that a clown? Yeah, it's like a clown riding a cow. With like a white picket fence as part of it. But not this simplistic. It's not this sort of like two-dimensional thing. It has more an element of depth to it than that. It doesn't look dissimilar from some of this kind of stuff. Definitely not that. Okay. But interesting. I wonder, maybe it's definitely going to be a hunt. Maybe it's not worth me sitting here and literally just going through clicking on random pictures of stuff, but I feel like this is going to be how I figure it out. Well, let's go. What was it? Was it this? Yeah, it's this. Bob, come on. Tell me about that circus. Okay. What is written upon it will be the key to understanding. Oh, right. Honey. The slow spiral of a circus parade. By then, that is what should have brought you here. One thing to consider, of all the main streets in America, where does the clown lead his followers? What does that mean? Honey, God, what am I doing? Honey clown painting. I don't know. Oh, all right. Well, I screwed you guys anyway. Yeah. I'll add the word parade. My apology. Oh, word parade doesn't stop it. Puppy. This has to change. Will this change it? Go away. No, word puppy doesn't fix it either. Okay. Circus parade. Honey. Why is he saying what is on the jar? Like that really makes me think the word honey is supposed to be part of this, right? That's not an insane thing to think. No, it's supposed to look more like as if we're looking down a street, from what I can tell. I just don't know. I have no idea, like, what the slow spiral of a circus parade. Where the long dead whisper, honey? SLVMB? No. Nope. Well, all right. That might be it. I feel like I'm so close. Like, I feel like I'm close to some form of revelation there. You know, like, I feel like that's what's frustrating. Is like, I feel like I'm right on the cusp of having cracked another thing, but I feel like I've also been going for so long. I just don't know. I feel like we cracked a ton, though. I seriously, it seems like season 2 is way more like, oh, you solve this, and then you solve that, and then you figure this out, and then you go there, and then this is happening. It's interesting. And I think that the blog post style context stuff is a much better system than the inspector's notes. The inspector's notes only really gave you like a little nudge in a direction, whereas this like Whispers from Theodorus website tells you the story. I like that. Oh, Jess is helping me. Good. Are there any great beekeeping or honey producing areas near there, though? I'm still unsure of where he's supposed to be in this box. I think what he's talking about, where he's like, do you know where I was? I think it's because in the newspaper article, Bob Heck says that he's going to continue to travel with a friend. I think that, friend is a very loaded term in this game. I think that friend is referring to John William James in that article. They all have bee associations. Impressionism is the type of painting. Lots of tears or tears. I can give you the keywords I used if you want. Charles Goss says, my brain is smoking. Charles, did you get your season 2 episode 3 box yet? I saw you posting about it before, that it's coming like tonight, like right now. Did you get it? Or are you saying your brain is smoking because of the box that I'm talking about right this second? Just curious. And Jess, how did you find it? Don't give me the keywords just yet. In about 5 seconds, I might go like, all right, now give me the keywords. Because I feel like we're just like, I'm like right there. I'm like right on the edge. But how is it that you came to find the painting? How did you find it? How did you end up Googling the words that you Googled that revealed the true painting to you? Consider this jar. What is the relationship of the signifier to the signified? What is written upon it will be the key to understanding the slow spiral of a circus parade. Honey, bees, circus. Honey or bees have anything to do with a circus? Is there a honey treat at a circus? Some tasty honey snack? Elephants like peanuts. Honey roasted peanuts. I don't know. But then that is what should have brought you here. One more thing to consider. Of all the main streets in America, where does the clown lead his followers? Is there a particularly clowny part of America? Boy, these clues just aren't really taking me. Yes, got it, opened it. Oh, you opened your box 3, Charles. What we're talking about, though, is what's killing your brain. So, Jess, you figured out what type of painting it was first, so Impressionism. Then eventually used the WFT. Oh, WFT? I think I know exactly what website you're referring to. The Whispers from Theodorus website. That I could pick out and got really lucky. Heard of a flea circus, but not a bee circus. You're right. All right, so Impressionism, circus. How did you know about him? I've heard that. I'm familiar with the term impressionism, but I certainly don't know. Like, I couldn't just look at a painting and go like, oh, that's impressionism. Did you already know that? Did you know it for any other reason than just being like a generally cultured, knowledgeable person? Is there any specialized reason you know it? Once again, though, I feel like this could be an instance, another example of the fact that we are all playing as the historian, and we require each other's knowledge. So I'm looking at a bunch of impressionistic paintings, if you want to look with me. I mean, all I did, maybe I didn't search well enough. Circus Parade, maybe I should add. Here's this jaunty feller. Bunch of ponies. This looks very close. The way people are dressed, like the time period, this is not the painting. But this looks very similar. Literally the way the women are dressed. What are the related things? No. This is, yeah. Yeah. Damn it. I really, really, really want to know. All right. I'm going to start. I got to start wrapping this up. I have to. Very soon. Just Oaks. Even finding the painting, though, I have no idea what it actually has to do with anything or what the main street actually is that John William James refers to. I had to use my resources. I'm terrible with art. I have family and friends who are into it. They didn't even know what it was either, to include, I'm just showing like picture in picture, I'm sorry. Include art professors at the college level. So kudos to Hunter-Killer for this one. Wow. Okay. Then yeah. How did you find it? Give me your search words. Let's do this. Let's dance. Let's dance and let's end this. Here's my plan for the next 5 minutes. I want to search for this painting. I want to find it. I want to know the name of it. I want to attempt to Google what street the painting is of. I don't know if that's actually going to lead anywhere. And then here's what I think I'm going to end up doing with my time. So I have the very next box sitting in my front room. Am I offline? No, I'm online, right? Why did it say reconnecting? Damn, sorry. I should have just kept talking. Okay. Yeah, I appear to be online. So, what I'm going to do is soon, very soon, in the next week or two, I'm going to do box 3 of season 2. I'm not going to wait a month. It's too frustrating to have it sitting around and not crack it open. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Christy Spinks, I see a trip to my local art museum in my future. Nice. Yeah. It's a good way to do it. But yeah. All right. So yeah. I'm going to call it quits on this box in just a couple seconds. And I'll be back very soon with the next box in the series. Seriously, before the month is done, I will be cracking into season 2, box 3. Jess, would you mind sending me? Oh man. All right. I don't know if we're going to get to do it then, because I don't know how I'm going to find it. I can't just search these paintings. I don't know enough. I just don't know enough stuff. Well, you know what? We had to tie up some loose ends from last month in this video. Maybe I'll tie up some loose ends from this video in the next video. So, yeah, I'm just gonna duck out of here then. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys watched live in the chat, Jess, Charles, Christy, my sister Kristin, a bunch more people that I just need to see their names again, to remind myself because they deserve shout outs. Christy Marie Williamson Turner. Thank you guys so much for watching. My own mom, thank you. I hope you guys had a good time. I know that I did. I feel like we really cracked a bunch of stuff in this box. I feel like almost every single thing that we picked up in this box, we were able to then riddle out some form of logical conclusion, which is great. That was terrific. This is like one of the most active, like exciting, you can do it boxes maybe ever. I really enjoyed it. So I will see you guys in the next box. If you enjoy this show, please do consider telling people about it, both in the world of Hunt a Killer and out in the regular old world. I would greatly appreciate that. If you enjoy what I do and you want more of me for some reason, go to talkbomb.com. That is my website where I have tons of podcasts. I've done shows, straight up comedy shows with my writing partner, Bobby, called Will and Bobby Know Everything. I did a show about movie scripts called Studio Rejects. I do a show called Book Club Schmook Club with my sister, Kristen. I've got weird, random, assorted videos on talkbomb.com/talkbomb. Or youtube.com/talkbomb. You can check out my old Hunt a Killer talk show, The Haunted Hunt, on Hunt a Killer's YouTube channel. I've done a ton of things, so I'd appreciate it if you would go and check out some of that other stuff and let me know what you think about it. That would mean a lot to me. But really, more than anything, I just hope that you guys had a good time, even a fraction of the good time that I had. And I will see you in the future. But until now, I must retreat into the past. That means absolutely nothing. But I'll see you guys at some point in the future. Stay tuned to @HauntedSponge all over the place so that you can see when I plan to do box 3. So yeah, until next we meet, happy hunting.